Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. In this video, I will show you how to install LAMP stack on Ubuntu. For this demo, I am using Ubuntu 22, but you can also follow these steps on all those Linux distributions where we can use apt or apt-get to install packages. Basically, LAMP stack is a set of open source tools that we can use to develop web applications. A LAMP stack consists of four components: an operating system, a web server, a database management system, and a programming language. For this demo, I am using Ubuntu 22 as a Linux operating system, Apache web server, MySQL database management system, and PHP as a programming language. Some people also use Perl or Python instead of PHP, but PHP works well with MySQL and is most commonly used. That's why I have covered PHP. These are the four steps we will perform to fully install and configure LAMP stack. First, we will install Apache, MySQL, and PHP, and then test the LAMP stack installation. I have added a link to all the commands I used in this demo in the description section. Now, let's head to the terminal screen and follow the installation steps one by one. Let's update the system first. Okay, system is updated. Now let's install Apache web server. Let's check if Apache 2 service is running. Sudo system serial status Apache 2 service is active and running. Now let's hit the default Apache web page to see if we have successfully installed it. Let's use the curl command. We are getting 200 OK status. That means we have successfully installed it. You can also use the localhost domain instead of typing this IP address 127.0.0.1. For instance, curl-i localhost, and we are getting the same response. Now let's also hit the default Apache web page on the public IP address associated with this machine. We can again use the curl command to find the public IP address of this machine. Curl ifconfig.me. This is the public IP address of this machine. So again, we can use the curl command. Okay, we are getting 200 OK status. All right, we have successfully installed Apache. You can also test the Apache installation from your local system's browser by typing localhost. Since I have rented this virtual machine from AWS, I will be typing the public IP address instead of localhost. By default, Apache runs on port 80. That's why I did not have to specify any port. Let's say you have configured it to run on port 8080 for security, then you can specify the port like this. To secure the web server by allowing traffic only on specific web server ports like 80 and 443, we can use a program named UFW to control web traffic on specific ports. Basically, it is a program for managing firewall. By default, it is disabled. For example, okay, its current status is inactive. I do not recommend using this UFW program if you have not used it already or if you are not comfortable using it because you might block yourself from accessing your system. It happened to me once. I was using a virtual machine that I rented from AWS and by mistake I blocked the SSH traffic. After that, I could not access that virtual machine, so I had to terminate it. Now let's install MySQL. Let's check the version of MySQL. Okay, we have installed 8036. Let me clear the screen. Let's check the status of service. Sudo systemctl status MySQL. Okay, service is active and running. Now let's connect to the MySQL server using the MySQL client. Sudo MySQL, and we are connected with the MySQL server. When I ran sudo MySQL command, I connected with the MySQL server command line using root user and localhost as the database host name. Basically, running sudo MySQL is same as running this command. Sudo MySQL username is root, and then P stands for password. So it will prompt me for password. I just press enter and I am connected with the MySQL server. By default, no password has been set. That's why I just press enter and I am connected with the MySQL server. Let me show you that no password has been set by default. You can see the authentication string does not contain anything. That means no password has been set by default. Now let's set a password by altering the root user. This is the name of user, which is root, and this is the host name, which is localhost, and this is the plugin that I'm using to set this password, and this is the password that I'm setting. Okay, now let's check if the password has been set. Okay, so you can see the authentication string is not null. No, that means we have successfully set this password for our root user. Now let's disconnect and reconnect. Sudo mysql. So you can see I'm getting access denied. This is because I did not provide the password. Because now I have set this password, so I must provide it in order to connect with the MySQL server. User is root. No, it will prompt me for password. Okay, so let me copy this password. Okay, I have pasted the password and now I am connected with the MySQL server. Since we have set the password, you will run this command every time you want to connect with the MySQL server. If you do not want to type the password every time you connect with the MySQL server, you can create a .my.cnf configuration file in the root directory and supply username and password there. For example, so in the root directory, I will create this file. Make sure the file name is same that I'm writing here, my.cnf. And here you will specify both user and password. Let me correct the double quotes. This is the same password that we set previously. Control X, Y, enter. Okay, so we have successfully created this file. Let's also change the permissions of this file so that only root user can read and write to this file. Sudo chmod 600 root my.cnf root. Okay, so we have successfully set the permission 600 to the root user. Now let's try connecting with MySQL server. Okay, I am connected with the MySQL server, but this time the username and password has been provided by the my.cnf file. Now you can type sudo MySQL every time you want to connect with MySQL server. Now, to secure MySQL installation by configuring different settings such as removing test database, disabling root login, and removing anonymous users, etc., we can run this MySQL secure installation script. Sudo MySQL secure installation. So it's asking me if I want to set up validate password component. Yes. And for now, I want to set it to low. So let me press 0. Okay, no, it says, do you want to change the password for root? No, I have already set the password for root, so I don't want to change it. Okay, remove anonymous user. Yes. Disallow root login remotely. So it will only allow root user on the local host, but it will not allow root user from the remote host. So yes, I want to disallow root login. Remove test database and access to it. Yes. Reload privilege tables will ensure that all changes made so far will take effect immediately. Yes. Let me connect with my SQL server again. Okay, we installed MySQL server and then set the password for root user. If you plan to provide access to this MySQL server to some other user, then make sure you create a separate user for that and grant limited permissions to that user. Do not give root level access to any user. Now let's install PHP. Okay, PHP has been installed. Along with PHP package, I also installed two other packages, libapache2 mod PHP and PHP MySQL. We need these packages so that we can use PHP with Apache and MySQL. Now let's test if Apache web server can process the PHP files. For that, let's create a file in the default root directory of Apache web server. Let's name the file info.php. Control X, Y, enter. Info.php. The output of this page is showing details of the lamp stack we just installed and configured. At this point, the lamp stack installation is complete, but I would highly recommend you to watch this next video where I show you how to deploy a simple web application that makes use of all the four components of the lamp stack. I hope you will also be able to install lamp stack on your system without any issues. If there are any issues, you can add a comment and I will get back to you. And if you are testing this lamp stack installation on your local system, then you must type localhost here like this. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.